There was quite a lot of outrage toward Warner Bros. For their decision to send Juror number 2 straight to stream. Outrage which led to a limited theatrical release of a whopping 50 North American theaters. On top of that, Warner Bros. Decided not to report the financial earnings of the movie, because Lord knows we don't need another reason to hate CEO David Zaslav. I wasn't entirely sure what motivated the decision. Were they not confident enough in the quality of the movie to believe it could make a profit? Or was this an overcorrection from Zaslav as a response to Cry Macho performing dismally at the studio? After all, there were reports that he was incredibly disappointed by the studio for greenlighting the movie. Be as it may, I was hyped for Juror number 2. Not because I'm invested in Clint Eastwood's directing career, but because of the strength of the premise alone. A guy is called to serve on a jury and realizes he might have committed the crime. Does he turn himself in? Does he coerce the jury into believing the victim is guilty? Quite honestly, it's one of the most intriguing movie premises I've heard in years. And though it doesn't result in an equally fantastic movie, Juror number 2 is still a great adult drama and thriller. Eastwood is a Hollywood legend, and with this being his final movie, it should be no surprise at the impressive cast he assembled. At this point, I'm sure almost anyone's willing to sign up for whatever he's working on. In fact, I heard a story about how Kiefer Sutherland is only in this movie because he wrote a letter telling Clint he wants to work with him before he retires. Considering Sutherland is in like 2 unimportant scenes here, I completely buy into that. But everyone from Toni Collette to Zoe Douche to J.K. Simmons plays their role incredibly well. But this is undoubtedly lead actor Nicholas Holt's movie. Whether it's The Menu or the upcoming Nosferatu or the highly anticipated turn as Lex Luthor in Superman, the guy is increasingly in demand, and this is his best work yet. With just a look on his face, he conveys the weight of the moral dilemma of the character and makes him an incredibly sympathetic one. And this is definitely a movie defined by moral dilemmas. It's very much the type of film which can get your dad to say they don't make movies like this anymore. And what I mean by that is this. This is an effective, no BS, straight to the point legal thriller which absorbs you with its, no pun intended, killer premise. It's a movie grounded in well-defined stakes and carried by a story engine of tension which is not explosive but slow burning. Throughout the runtime, you're constantly asking yourself questions. Whether it's narrative questions such as will he get caught, or philosophical questions such as should he. If Juror number 2's greatest strength is its screenplay, then its greatest weakness is its direction. Clint Eastwood has always been known as a do one take and move on kind of director, saying that to do any more takes would just waste everyone's time. But in Juror number 2, it feels like he carried this philosophy to everything from conception to filming. Each frame is captured in an incredibly generic and uninspired way, with an attitude of let's make sure we have the actors who we need in the shot and who cares if it looks any good. Whereas great cinematography should ideally be used to reveal characters, the cinematography in this movie simply points at them. When assessing Warner Bros.' decision to essentially treat this as a Lifetime movie, it's important to recognize that the visuals here, on top of the utterly uninspired pedestrian score, essentially proclaim it as one. To leave us on a more positive note, I was genuinely impressed at how this movie managed to flesh out and make every single jury member stand out. You might not remember their names, but each of them has a pretty distinct personality. Though the movie is dull from a technical perspective, it is gripping from a narrative one, which overcomes Clint Eastwood's directorial limitations to deliver an overall exciting, thought-provoking legal thriller. One which probes and investigates the inherent limitations of the system. Does it offer a better system in its place? Not quite, but nor does it have to. And perhaps that's a conversation best continued by us, the audience. Online, there's been quite some polarization about the ending of Juror number 2, but the way I see it, it was a perfectly fitting ending, one which leaves just as many questions as every scene beforehand. And for a movie built on questions, I can't think of anything more fitting. And for that, I'm giving this movie a 7.5 out of 10, but it's closer to an 8 than to a 7. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel for weekly TV and movie reviews. And if you've had the chance to watch Juror number 2, let us know what you thought about it in the comments below. I'm Cinemike, and I'll see you next time.